So welcome to the Mindfulness broadcast, and welcome to what, at least where I am in Southern Oregon, really feels like the beginning of fall. It is official. It's here. Starting to see the leaves change and the colder mornings and the really hot afternoons and the beautiful extremes I think that fall brings. So I wanted to share this morning. I had two things occur for me this morning that kind of influenced what I wanted to talk about. So I want to talk about perspective. So I am two things. One, I am preparing for a camping trip, going to do the Utah 5 national parks in the spring over spring break with my family. And so if you have not experienced what it's like to have to get a campground, it's like it has gotten wild. And so my whole focus has been at 7 a.m. I had to be on the site and ready, and I had to get 2 sites because my folks are coming, and so focused in, and I got one, but I didn't get the other. And by the time I got there, every one of them was gone. They open up and then they are just gone. And everybody is as crazy as me waiting for it. And I was so upset about it. I was so frustrated. And then I expanded my map out of not just that campsite, but the whole campground and the town that happens to sit right next to the south entrance of this national park. There's campgrounds surrounding all of it. And it was just this reminder I'd gotten so upset and so fixated on, I had to get this at 7 a.m., 6 months to the date, right? And then to see there's all these options out here that I was missing that even had some cooler aspects to them. So that was one. And I was just thinking about that and like, wow, I really had I hyper focused on this and missed all of these other opportunities. And then the other thing, while I was thinking about this, I'm taking my daughter to school, and this woman is she's waiting in line to get into a coffee kiosk, and she's kind of in the lane and blocking traffic, but there was no other traffic. There was just her, and a woman pulled up behind her and is honking her horn, and she's very upset and fixated. I was in this lane, I was going forward, and now you're blocking it. But there were 3 other lanes of traffic that this woman could have moved around and gone through. And I thought, oh yeah, I get what you're going through. I just did it with a campground. And it just made me think of how hyper focused we can get on how things are supposed to be, or what I have to do to make something happen, that we're actually missing a whole lot of other truths, right? So not just missing opportunities, but a whole lot of other truths, like beliefs that might also be true at the same time, values that we might want to bring in. We're missing perspective. And so I wanted just to focus on that this morning, of how do we notice our humanity in doing that, and then bring ourselves into greater perspective. Hopefully, I'm not alone in this. So we're going to use our practice this morning to do that. Before we get into our practice, I do want to let you know, if you love this kind of work, many of you have attended this. If you haven't, we have a workshop called The Power of Intention. We have it, we're offering it in December. I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you are part of the workforce development community, you can also access this course through your OEDA membership, Oregon Employment Training Association. You can register through them and save a bit of money, or you can register directly through our website as well. So the link is in there. Let's go ahead and get into our practice. You can close your eyes, or you can take a soft gaze. And just land in this moment this morning. Land in your beautiful, wonderful, humorous humanity, in the way our brain is designed and how it can take us in some pretty hyper-focused thought processes. Before we start that journey, let's just find our breath. And as we breathe in purposefully, just slowly inhaling through your nose, and then exhaling through your lips, slowly and intentionally. And bring your body into a very intentional posture. You can play with what that means for you. Maybe your feet are fully grounded. If you're sitting, you might find just this kind of place of balance in your pelvis and your spine where you're not leaning too far forward or slouching or reclining, kind of finding this posture of attentiveness. Allow your shoulders to go back into their sockets, lifting the crown of the head and also lifting that chest just a little, while at the same time tucking the chin, kind of aligning, imagining this straw if you can, where you're really able to pull breath into your body, allowing your stomach to relax, moving with your breath in and out. And then inviting some expansiveness into your breath, maybe into your body. Maybe you pull your shoulders back. Maybe you open your fingers up. Maybe you lighten your face, bringing just the expansiveness into a smile. So much of our life, physically and mentally and emotionally, can kind of be hunched over or hyper focused. And so we want to intentionally bring an expansiveness into this moment. And I did this morning when I was using maps, Google Maps, to look at my campsites. But I've always loved this exercise, and I think it's a beautiful visual if you can visualize this. And if you can't, just kind of listen to my voice as I guide you through it. But imagine you've pinned yourself on a Google map. It's a digital map. And you can go so far into that you can kind of see where you, meaning your phone usually, or your computer, is actually in that building, right? Not just kind of the city that you're in, but you can go all the way down to the street, to the building, to the place in the building where you are. I want you to imagine that. And then imagine coming up above. Maybe it's your office, maybe it's a house, a building, coming up above that. And then to the block or the acreage. You can kind of adjust this depending on where you are. And then to your side of town, and then to the city, and then to the county, and then to the state, and then to the nation, and then to the continent, and then surrounded by the oceans, and then the world, and then the globe. Maybe you've done this on Google Earth. I love doing this. And how absolutely hyper-focused we can be back at that pinpoint of our world. That our little internet connection isn't working right? That our little coffee isn't hot enough. This person is in my lane. And I can't get that second campground. How much energy can we focus on that little moment? And what an emotional ride we can put ourselves through. And also how much perspective we can give ourselves if we allow it. How much we can say, does this really matter in the long run? The answer might be yes. Often, though, the answer is probably not really. Could I just move over to the other lane? Could I just cross the street and be in a different campground? Could I give myself expansiveness and space? Could I let what that person said go? Can I accept that thing that I said and just forgive myself and ask for forgiveness? Can I give myself perspective? Using our breath and using our body to continue to give us that expansiveness. See where you're contracting, observe that in your body, and see if you can just invite expansiveness, openness. You might spread your toes out, lift your shoulders, lift your face to the sun, reminding us of this place we sit in the universe. As we begin to close, we'll use all that expansiveness to begin to use that mental Google map to bring yourself back down into this body, into this space, into this moment. Finding your breath again, bringing that beautiful perspective and expansiveness with us. Tucking whatever insights or observations or lessons we might have received through this practice, tucking them into our heart or our pocket. And then when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes or bringing your gaze back up. And before we leave this moment, just looking around, just noticing your space, your spot on the planet. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thanks. I so enjoy this time. Be well. Create a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next week. Bye.